carrot cake cupcakes. We're making pea soup that is naturally gluten-free. That answers that question. We are going to make a napa slaw. We are going to make, what am I missing? Grilled cheese. And then we will make the icing for the cupcakes. And why is it the minute I get in front of here, I remember everything I forgot to do, even though I spent an hour getting ready to make sure I didn't forget anything. Oh well, don't worry about it. We've got the oven preheating, and we are using, I don't know if you've ever used these mixes before. This is called Mom's Place. And these mixes are so good. This one, as it said, is the carrot cake mix, and we're going to make cupcakes out of it because cupcakes are a lot easier to share than a whole cake. So I'll be sharing some with some people that I really care about. Alrighty. Toss it over there. Let's see. I need 3/4 of a cup of oil. So we're going to get that going. So if you're here, say hi. And if you can, tell me, how was your Easter? So, dun, 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 dun. Oh, you know what's going to happen here? I know what's going to happen here. I got to go back and look at my, tossed away my recipe here. I do need 3/4 of a cup. I am afraid I'm going to run out of oil here. That would not be good, would it? Now, a lot of people would use a lighter, more neutral oil than olive oil, but I've never had a problem with it. So I'm going to stick with what I know. Hopefully there's enough for my other recipe. I think there will be. So put that to the side. We're going to add in our oil. All right, and that I'm going to need for another recipe also, and that uses oil. So reduce, reuse, recycle. We're all about that today. Okay, I need about a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So we're just going to eyeball that. And I also need that for something later as well. So I'm going to stick that with that. I'm going to need that for my frosting for the cake, for the cupcakes. And then I have 1 1/4 shredded carrots. And today I bought the shredded carrots as they are. I didn't shred them myself because I knew I was going to have a lot to do. I wanted to make it easy for myself. So there's that. I have 1/3 of a cup of crushed pineapple that we have drained. It says to have it well drained, so that's what we're doing. That is well drained. If I wasn't on camera right now, I would drink that. But anyway, again, and then I need 3 eggs. Okay, that's not shell, that's part of the egg. Good to know. All right, I'm gonna put that in here since that's all going in the garbage for now. Eggy number 2. To quote Dylan Hollis, eggy. And I don't put them right in the mix because too many times I have ended up with a little bit of shell, and I don't want to go searching for it, and I don't want crunchy cupcakes. So, eggy number 3. Thank you, Dylan. So there's that. This goes in. These lovelies get all mixed up together. We're going to start slow because it will throw it right out of the dish. And I think my IT man said if I'm right here, you guys can see me. So, whew, I gotta tell y'all. Hey, Aaron. Hope you're having a good Monday. It's kind of pretty here, actually, which is nice. All right, I'm gonna up this just a little bit. I know it's gonna make it hard to hear me, but I'm gonna get those all mixed up. And there we go. It is all mixed. Woohoo! All right. So, gonna get that all like that. And then we're gonna scoop these cupcakes really quickly. So Aaron, if you're still here, I know people come and go, dip in and dip out. If you're Aaron, if you're still here, what part of the world are you in? Always good to know, because people come in from all over the world, and it's really fun to find out where everybody's from. So if you're still here, or if anybody else is here that wants to tell me, where in the world are you? So, is that about right? I think I got the wrong scoop out. I think I can use the big scoop on this one. All right. I am going to get the big scoop out. Oh, don't tell anybody I just did that. So, hi Daniel, welcome in. We are on our way to make some pea soup, but currently we are making some cupcakes for dessert. So this will make this go much faster. Oh yeah, this is better. I have a feeling it's going to make more than they said. I should have trusted myself. So, ooh, India, lovely. How is your weather over there right now? We have spring weather over here. It's lovely. I know you guys are in the northern hemisphere with us. So, but depending on where you are, it could be a lot warmer than it is here. It's about 60 degrees here, which I want to say is maybe 20-ish degrees Celsius. I need to figure that kind of stuff out better. But the sun is out. It's supposed to get really cold tomorrow, though. We actually have a freeze warning tonight, which is not good for my gardens. They're going to be sad. Hopefully I don't lose much. So, summer weather. Okay. Yeah, it's not summer weather here yet. So, looked like the wet meditation video. I'm not sure what that means. But anyway, maybe they were right. I'm going to get about 15 of them, I think. Hopefully I didn't overfill them. So, all right. So are you celebrating anything in India right now? Is it Vijaya? Because currently the Christians in the United States are celebrating Easter, and the Jewish population is celebrating Passover. The Muslims just finished with Ramadan a couple weeks ago. And I don't know if there's any other holidays. So, I'm not familiar with any other, if that is what I'm saying. I know spring solstice for a lot of people, particularly my friends in Ireland. They all celebrate the spring solstice. I have storage under my table, which comes in very handy sometimes. Get a couple more cupcake liners, which makes life a lot easier than just using the cupcakes. Not as much to wash. So it looks like I have one, maybe two more. Yeah, I got two more. There's one. And one more is two. And you'll hear me occasionally call for my IT guy, which happens to be my son. He does not care to be on camera. So we are going to grab Just enough for one more. All right. So that gave us about 16 actually, cupcakes. So spring holiday, lovely. Lunar New Year. Yes, we just had Lunar New Year as well. Yeah, there's a lot going on right now. So I have an aunt who's Vietnamese who she crossed over right about the Lunar New Year. So, and she celebrated the Lunar New Year. So that was kind of poignant for us. All right, so I can put that away. Oh, I think today is going to be a no glove day, believe it or not. All right, so I'm going to pop these in the oven real quick. Oh, there you go. Okay, New Year in a few states. All right, I'm going to pop these in the oven. I'm going to keep talking to you because I'm right here. Oh, dear. Mr. IT Man, I would be off camera for way too long. Can you fix the oven for me? I made an angel food cake this weekend, so all of my racks are at the bottom. So he's going to fix that for me. If you just take the bottom one and put it in the middle, we'll be good. So the bottom one, please. Thank you. Cupcakes. 15 to 18 minutes. That's upside down, dear. Oh, well, go ahead. Put it in there. And then if you'll put that on the middle one. And if they'll both fit in the middle, let's do that. And then I'm going to have him a no gloves day. Woo! If you've been around much, I don't like to handle raw meat. So when I have that or something sticky, 16 minutes, if you would, please. I use gloves. Okay, so next we are going to put this aside, but we're going to need it again. So I'm going to leave it right here. And next we're going to start our soup. And my IT guy is going to hand me my handy dandy. Yes, please. He doesn't even want his voice on camera. So, all right. This is my Ninja cooker. And we're going to put that right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Hopefully you can. Need to plug this little puppy in. Oh, there we go. All right. One thing about doing these things where I'm doing them, it's kind of hard to stay in camera. So, better? All right. Okay. Oh, goodness. So, hi, Mercy. Is it Mercy? Is that your first name? I hope I got that right. Let's see. We're going to put this on saute. Is that what I want? Yes, I want saute. All right. And we're going to start with some olive oil. Get that all shimmery and pretty. So Mercy, where in the world are you? Okay. I have a little story, a couple little stories actually about these peas here that we're going to make into soup. Been planning this for a week. I was like, I got the bag in the pantry, and this morning early, thank goodness, I went to get the bag of peas out and found out they were lentils. But I'd already done all my graphics, so I didn't want to redo my graphics. So I had to run to the store to get the peas. I also, that's when I decided to get the shredded carrots, and I decided to grab some fresh celery because my celery was looking a little ragged, and pitch this in the garbage. So give me 1 second here. Actually, I'm going to get a bowl for everything that needs to go elsewhere. And I went and I had 4 things on my list, and I forgot my list. So that was lovely. And then so I had to remember from memory, and I picked up my celery, I picked up my carrots, I needed some unsalted butter, and then I couldn't remember the 4th thing. And I just stood there like a goofball in the middle of the store in the produce section until I remembered what it was I was looking for, which I was very grateful for, and just I would have been really mad at myself that I've forgotten the most important thing actually that I went for. So just going to use a little bit of that and put that to the side. And then again, since I have the shredded carrots, guess what? I'm going to use shredded carrots. So equal parts, essentially, carrots, onions, and celery. Good mirepoix. I'll use some of these later in another dish. And then, are we hot enough yet? This isn't hot at all. What's going on here, guys? Oh, helps if you hit the start, doesn't it? Anyway, so listen, the one thing you're going to get here is you're not going to get perfect. You're going to get me. You're going to get real, and today has been real. So it has not been the most amazing of days, but we persevere. And that's what it's all about, right? I'm going to move this over here so it's a little more accessible. And just the thing I love about this pea soup is it does have plenty of other vegetables in it. And for those of you who may be in a place where you do not eat pork, you don't have to put the pork in it. I say this over and over and over again because there is hardly a recipe that I make that you can't substitute something if it's not part of your regular diet. I actually lost a subscriber because I put Velveeta cheese. If you don't know what that is, it's a processed cheese food. We don't use it much. I use it for about 2 or 3 dishes. I use it maybe once or twice a year. So I don't use it a lot. But the person was like, "Oh my God, I'm out of here." And I'm like, "Okay, goodbye." But what you'll find is with my recipes is that you adapt them for you. I am not telling anybody they have to cook it the way I cook it. I will tell you if you don't use certain things, what will happen, or if you use something else, what will happen. It's just that way. A lot of times when I make the soup, I actually, in the U.S. we have ham quite often for Easter, and we did yesterday, but we were at my son's house and they kept the bone. So because they kept the bone to make bean soup for themselves, I just have some ham here to put into the soup. So things are so adaptable. I mean, if you're vegetarian, you can substitute things out. If you're vegan, a lot of times I will use dairy products because my family they're not fans of coconut milk. So a lot of things that call for coconut milk, we end up not using coconut milk for that reason because I just don't like it. I don't mind it, but I'm not cooking for one. I'm currently cooking for 3. So, and one of my family members absolutely detests coconut. So we deal with it. All right. I do believe this is warm now. So I'm gonna get that going, stir it up. We'll give that about 5 to 10 minutes to cook. And this is one of those soups, again, where like some people put it in a blender at the end and they want it all smooth. I like it to have a little, oh, that would be interesting. Oh, Marie, that's an interesting thought, putting some shrimp in there with the peas. That would be, wow, that's an interesting thought. Like at the end, you could like put in some nicely cooked shrimp. That would be so interesting. Oh, I like that's I love ideas like that. It just makes me think about, how would that taste? How would that go? So, but so there was my story about the peas today. That was, and then I don't know if you're familiar with the Angry Moulin Man, where you're supposed to wash your rice. Well, I do that with beans, peas, lentils, things like that. And when I started washing it today, I started singing the Angry Moulin Man song, which was hilarious. So, oh, you've had it before. Oh, well, there you go. That's good to know. We might have to try that at some point. But I started singing the Moulin Man song, if you know what that is, about washing your rice, because that's kind of his MO, is talking about washing the rice. So, oh, I guess it's hit temperature. So, I've got about 3 cloves of garlic there. And a lot of times I don't measure when it comes to things like the carrots, onions, and celery. It's probably about a cup each. I only used half of the onion because that would have been a lot of onion. So we just do it that way. But there comes that garlic smell. Love it. All right. So I'm going to give that another minute or two. And like I said, I pre-diced the ham up. I've got some chicken stock here from Kirkland, my favorite. If you've been around for a while, you know that. Got my bay leaves ready. There's not a lot of seasoning to this. For one, I don't add a lot of salt to anything because between the chicken stock and the ham, that's plenty of salt for us. My husband's a type 1 diabetic, so we keep that sodium content low if we can. I haven't cooked with salt really much for years. We just, if we need it, we season it at the end. For example, there's a few vegetables. Corn, I know it's a grain, but if we serve that like a vegetable, I will put a little salt on that. And there's a couple other vegetables I like to put a little salt on. But my husband doesn't. So anyway, so that's going. Smells so good. I love the smell of mirepoix, especially when there's garlic in there to spice it up a little bit. Not spice it up, but you know what I mean. It doesn't make it spicy, just a little more flavor. And that's the thing about pea soup, is like getting a depth of flavor is not, it's a simple soup, is what I would call it. So I'm going to toss in the chicken stock. Got that going. And this recipe calls for 6 cups. Look, if you like it lighter, if you like it not quite so robust, which some people don't, and that works for them, you can use water, you can use vegetable stock, whatever works for you. Like I said, I have I've washed these thoroughly, so I probably don't need all of them. It's going to be very thick because I put all of them in there, but I don't care. I can always add a little water or stock at the end. So I'm going to pop that in there. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 3 bay leaves. 1, 2, 3. Because they're small. And then I'm going to put that ham in there. You could use turkey, like a smoked turkey. That would be delicious. Sorry about that. You could use, like I said, we have the suggestion of using using shrimp, which I find fascinating. And I don't know that I'd put beef in with this. I'm not sure that that would be a very good soup, but then at the end, I am going to add just a little bit of Cholula, which gives it a lovely flavor, but doesn't make it spicy. So I'm going to reuse that bowl because, like I said, the peas were clean and that was clean. And since I only use that for vegetables, my next thing that I'm going to make is also vegetable based. So I'm going to put the lid on this soup. Hopefully it gets up to temp very quickly and we'll be ready for soup by the end. And I'm going to move on to the next thing. So, all right, one of the things lately, true confessions, last year I lost 35 pounds, just eating healthier and taking care of myself. And over the last 3 months, the weather has been awful. It's not my favorite time of year. And I have put on some of that weight back on. So I am trying to add more vegetables into my diet and also more vinegar, fermentation, that kind of thing. So one of the things I'm going to make today is a napa cabbage slaw. So to do that, I'm going to use a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to make the dressing, if you will, first. So this is really simple. So there's that, and then a little bit of soy sauce. And then a little bit of sesame oil. Now, I know a lot of people, sesame oil is one of those things that's also polarizing. A lot of people think that sesame oil kind of overshadows everything. This is rice vinegar, by the way. I love this stuff. I gotta go check my, hey, IT guy, can you come check the cupcakes, please? Okay. Stir that up. And the one thing I like about like when you do like Asian pickling, it tends to be really light pickling. That tastes pretty good. I'm going to put just a little bit more soy sauce in there. How are we doing? Let me put them in for about 3 more minutes, please. They're still a little soft on the top. So, late to the party. Yes, leftover Easter ham. Hey, Kim, how are ya? Yep, I make pea soup almost every year with the leftover ham. My son and his wife, God love them. I know what I'm missing. Would you get me out some? I was going to throw just a little bit of honey in here for sweetness. Straight back. Raise your left hand straight back. There you go. No, I do not want hot honey. If you know me, you know I do not want hot honey. I tell people all the time that if I go to a Thai restaurant and they say 1 to 4, I say 0. I'm a big baby when it comes to spice. I always say when it comes to spice, I'm the whitest white person ever. So can't help it. That's just the way my mouth is. So, ooh. Yeah, exactly. It's pea soup, or she knows my oldest and his wife, and they're making bean soup with the bone today. So they kept the bone. I've got some extra ham. I am going to grab this half of a napa cabbage. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. We have an Asian market not far from here, and I don't know what magic they have in this green wrap that they put on their vegetables, but they stay fresh forever. I mean, this cabbage will last for 2 weeks if I don't open that. It's amazing. So I used some this weekend for something else, but it's just astounding. And napa cabbage it's got such a nice flavor. It's not that heavy cabbage flavor, which is not my favorite thing. So I'm just going to cut enough that will go in this bowl. And put it in small pieces so it's easy to eat. When I saw a recipe, I'm going to go get some more napa cabbage here in the next little bit, I think. Although there might be. I saw a recipe recently for dumplings. Again, since dumplings is one of those things that we miss when we're gluten-free, this dumpling recipe was made with softened napa cabbage leaves, which I thought was brilliant. It looks so good. So maybe I'll make that in a week or two. See what we've got cooking there. So there's some of it. I'm going to add just a little more of the napa in there. So that one came together in about 5 minutes. So that shows you how quick and easy that is. Put this aside because I still can use some of that. And I know a lot of people would put a little bit of onion in there. And if that's your thing, do it. Not a fan of raw onion. If I was going to do that, I would saute my onions a little bit. I like to get the bite out of it, if you will. So there's that, and that will go with it. If you want to, you could put a few carrots in there just for pretty and for color and for taste and crunch, which I don't need a lot. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit in there. Okay, let me try this. Yeah, I think those are done. Okay, so the cupcakes are done, which is really good timing. I'm going to pull out the lid for that. Also, if you're hanging around for the first time and you haven't subscribed yet, we would love it if you would subscribe. We are on a quest to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're only about 20% of the way there. There you go. Nice little shake up. And then when you serve this, you can serve it with either just regular sesame seeds, black sesame seeds, toasted sesame seeds. All that would work. So we will end up popping that into the pop that into the fridge when we're done, because what we end up making here ends up being our dinner for tonight. So. Anyway, All right, so next on our hit parade, Mr. IT guy, come back. We are going to put those cupcakes on a cooling rack. So, hi, Tina. Thanks for coming in. So you're a bean soup person too, huh, Kim? All right. We need to put these. Yeah, you take one, I'll take one. You hand me one. Coordination on camera. All right, so we're gonna get these cupcakes out. Does anybody know a good way to do this? I don't. I just kind of grab them with my fingernails and hope for the best. I'm always looking for hacks, if you know what I mean, to make things simpler. Whew. Because, Kimberly and I have shared all kinds of hacks like that because I had 3 boys. They were not ones to wait to eat. And she has several special needs kids. And so we're always looking to streamline, be more proficient, more efficient, all those things. So thank you, dear. But which is why something like today, where we're doing these meals like this soup, I will eat all week. So that makes life easy. I love soup. I could eat it pretty much every day. Hi, Olympia. Welcome in. We are currently getting carrot cake cupcakes out of the tin. And I was just asking anybody if they had any kind of hack for getting them out of these tins easier. I know some people don't use the cupcake liners, but I'm going to be sharing these with other people, so it's just easier to have them in the cupcake liners. So, because there aren't big fans of carrot cake other than me in here, and I don't need to be eating 16 carrot cake cupcakes by myself, All right, so there we go. Oh, goodness. All right. So I've got 2 things left to make. I did not think I was going to get this far this fast. I'm so proud of myself. All right, I'm going to move this up a little bit. It's cooking away there. Hopefully it's good enough by the time we want to taste test it before we get off of here. Stuff is in the sink. Let's steal a drink here real quick. And next up, we are going to make some cream cheese icing. If you can get your hands on a KitchenAid, by all means do it. I've had this one. I was married for a few years to someone else before this wonderful man that I've been married to for, it'll be 33 years this year. I've had this since my first marriage, and I love it. To this day, I love it. It is a wonderful kitchen tool. It's expensive, but it is one of those things that is going to hang around for decades. KitchenAid makes an amazing product when it comes to, I don't know that we have many other of their products, but this one for sure. All right. Hey, Mr. IT man, can you turn off the oven, please? Because it is warm in here. Ooh, it's warm in here. All right. So, buttercream icing. At least, or cream cheese icing. At least where I live, this is how we make it. Well, that was unfortunate. Apparently I set the vanilla up against the butter. Oh well. Again, like I said, real life here, buddy. So we are going to start with 1 stick of butter. Many recipes call for unsalted and then you add salt. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put the I'm just going to put the salted butter in there and be done with it. We've never really had a problem with it, so. I can smell it cooking. I can smell the peas now, which tells me that they're cooking, so that's lovely. And then I've got my cream cheese that's been warming up and getting soft. You don't want everything hard or it's just not going to blend well. Or if it's closer to room temperature, you're good. So, and you can go on in there. It goes in my trash bucket. Oh. So here we go. All right, so if you had to pick an icing, do you have a favorite frosting? Not really icing, but do you have a favorite frosting? This one happens to be mine. I absolutely love this stuff. A cream cheese frosting is my favorite. So if you've got a favorite frosting, love to hear what it is. Especially while I'm whipping this up. It gives me something to do. I can read. And this whips it up in no time. That's the other thing. All right, now I'm going to add in a little bit of vanilla. That was a lot of vanilla. Ooh. Oh well. And next, I don't know why, I got in my pantry today. This is powdered or icing sugar, depending on where you live in the world, and so is this. So I'm not sure why I have two of them, but I'm going to empty this one first. The other thing about this kind of easy for me to say, man, this kind of frosting is that sorry, they're nested. Is that you can kind of adjust how sweet you want it. So one thing I've noticed about mixes for gluten-free is that they tend to be very sweet. So when I make frostings, I tend to make them less sweet so that it's got a little balance to it. Or if you've got a really sweet frosting, you can always put a little bit of lemon juice in there to brighten it up. Also, these shoots, lovely, because you're not like getting it all over the place. But, all right. Okay. I'm going to be smart and do it this way so I don't pour it all over the place. At least that's the premise, is that we're going to use this. Because honestly, I'm kind of eyeballing this. I'm going to start with 2 cups. We're going to see how it goes and how it tastes, and then we'll move on from there. So I'm going to... But I love these shoots because then it doesn't go everywhere, generally. The other thing, this is a really good hack. If you have sugar, not so much powdered sugar, but if you have regular sugar or flour on your bench and you want to clean it off, always wipe it first with a dry paper towel or a dry towel. It will keep it from getting all icky. So that's always been a thing we've done. Incorporate that. I'm going to grab a spatula real quick. I will keep talking so you can hear me. I'll be right back. Sometimes it pays to have a small kitchen. All right, I'm going to take this off really quickly and just scrape the bowl down. We can get that, the butter's all up on the sides. So we want to get that down there and get that incorporated in. So good. All right. All righty. And then put the collar back on. I know it seems like it's crazy, but it really does help. I'm going to say that's about another, not quite another cup's worth. But rather than put it in the cup and put it in, I'm just going to, I know I'll need all of it. So that's going to go as I start stirring that in. All right. Get to wash that out when I'm done here. Speed it up so I can incorporate it a little better. Give it a little taste. That's actually pretty good. I'm going to do just a little more. But I like mine a little on the tangier side when it comes to that. So I'm just going to... Oh, that was interesting. I don't want that much. Okay, that's going to be more than enough, I think. All right. I'm going to clip that back up. And then we're going to finish that up. So nobody's got a favorite frosting flavor, huh? Okay. That's going to do that. We're going to do a little banging on the side here. Well, that's not going to work, is it? Or is it? There we go. Now it cut loose. Okay. Oh, that's good. So good. Rinse my hands here. Okay. Now, some people, oh, buttercream. Yeah, good. Oh, watching from Detroit. You're in my time zone. Neighbor up north. So, for those who don't know, the reason I call the channel gluten-free from the 513, 513 is the area code where I live, which happens to be in Ohio. All stuff you can look up. So, not sharing anything too untoward, but so this is all lovely and mixed in, although there's some bits in there that are not quite incorporated, so we're gonna just give it a little extra stir here and there. All right, I think it's all mixed in. I did forget to get one thing down. Hopefully I can reach it because there we go. I'm not a short person, just so you know, but sometimes trying to reach things is a little crazy. So and often when I do this, okay, now you're just starting to be rude. I'm gonna I use disposable bags for that. This is really cooking away. I think I've got it on low, but maybe I'm wrong. Let's try. Yeah, I'm going to turn it down to about 225. Nope, it only goes down to 250, so I guess I'm going to turn it down to 250. All right, so I'm going to grab one of these lovely disposable bags. I'm going to cut the tip off of it. Yikes! Won't let go of me. Okay, and then the nice thing about piping, to be honest, it's to make it gorgeous. Yes, you need to practice, but you can make a decent looking covering on your cupcakes with relative ease, I would call it. Drop that down in there. Well, that was unfortunate. One out of maybe 50 will do that. And then you push it down so that it pushes through. Nice. Well, it is, I didn't cut it down far enough. I usually cut it too far, so this time I didn't do it far enough. But we can fix that. Easier to cut it off than to put it back on, right? Currently, I have several things going. This is pea soup in here, and I'm currently making a cream cheese frosting for some carrot cake cupcakes that I've made that are gluten-free. So, okay, that soup is starting to settle down now. That did not go on properly. Crossways. Try that. So, okay, there we go. Better. Still didn't get it all the way down. Oh well, hopefully this will. There we go. All right, now there are some good tricks to doing this well. One thing is having something nice and tall, and you can go like this. Now, for us, this is, if you're from this area, we have an amusement park called Kings Island, and you can get a container every year that you pay a lot for it the first time. I don't know how much it is. I haven't bought one in years, but and then every time you come back, you can get a drink at a lower price than if you bought it in a disposable cup. Well, that's not fun. So anyway, but it works really well for something like this because it helps you, except when you do silly things like that, helps you to keep that open and get all of your icing in there so that when you're ready to fill your cupcakes, you can do that. I've got a gap there, so I'm going to push that down into the gap, but not all the way into the tip. I can open it back up and finish filling it. The other thing is when it gets empty, you can put it back in there and do it that way too, and that's really helpful if you're frosting a lot more than what I'm going to do today. So now, if you're doing a cake, that's a whole different thing, but since I'm doing cupcakes, and I'll show you how quick it makes it to ice up your cupcakes. Hopefully they will be cooled off enough. So there's that. You should see my sink at the end of these cooking demos. It takes forever. So, um, what's slow? I'm curious. So let me see here. Okay, they're still slightly warm, but just to give you an idea, I'm gonna pull this one from the end. Like I said, they're a little warm, so I don't want to do them all, because if you frost a warm cupcake, what you're going to get is a mess. So, but to do this, you can either start on the outside and work in, or start on the inside and work out. I tend to start in the middle, and it depends on how thick you want it. I don't like it super thick, and I don't know if you guys can see this, but you know, just a little bit of pressure. And I love that the current trend, ooh, I lost it there, is not to completely cover the cupcake to the edge. And it wasn't perfect, but you know what? It took no time at all. So hopefully it doesn't melt, because like I said, it is still warm. Not hot, but warm. So that's that. And then I'm going to check the soup here, which is the main dish that we're having today. Move this back out of the way. And then grab my spoon. That one got hot. Every once in a while it gets hot because I opened it probably. But we're going to check our soup. That's the nice thing about pea soup sometimes, is it doesn't take all that long, but you still feel a little crunchy. I'm gonna grab a spoon out. They have a little bit of bite to them, but not much. So I'm going to, I almost forgot, 1 bay leaf. I put 3 in, so bay leaf number 2. One of them was small, so this could be interesting. Oh, there it is. Like I said, it's pretty small, so bay leaf number 3. Put this down. Hey, Mr. IT man, can you bring me my immersion blender, please? Okay, so several ways to do this, and here's the thing: is that it depends on your preference. Some people like their soup a little more chunky, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people like it really smooth. Again, nothing wrong with that. But I kind of like mine in the middle. I like some of it to be smooth, and right now it's very much like it's a very brothy soup. See if I can turn this. I don't know if you guys can see in there, but if I pull up a cup of it, you can see it's all still really solid. I like a little bit of both. I like there to be some texture to it, but I also like it to be creamy. So I'm gonna grab my handy dandy immersion blender and do what I can to make that happen. By the way, for pretty much everything I've used, and I do need to add, I will add the what I did with the decorating set. But you do want to be careful. Just throw a pea at me. Like I said, it's still got some bite to it, so it's not as easy to blitz up like it normally is, which is fine. I don't care. But there we go. Now it's starting to move. This gives it that lovely green color that I happen to like, but a lot of people are like, oh, that's why they don't like pea soup. Um, but anyway, so I pulled it out too far. That's my fault. Anyway, now I'm gonna, as much as I plan, I sit here and I'm like, oh, forgot that, forgot that, forgot that. It happens. I'm new to it. We've been doing it for about a month, and I make a lot of mistakes. I have to redo stuff. I get a little better, I think, each week. I'm gonna give this a good stir. I am going to grab myself a bowl, which is, again, very close, but I'm just going to grab a little bit. You know what? I'm going to get a glass bowl so you can see. Yes, I actually have glass bowls. So anyway, so this is kind of how I like mine. I like it to have a little bit of, as it steams up, a little bit of texture. And a lot of times I don't have any, and my IT guy's in the other room, but I like to have a little Parmesan cheese on top of it. And I just realized something. I'm going to put it back for just a second because I almost forgot to put my Cholula in there. Which, again, if I, as I said earlier, if you were not here, Cholula helps to elevate the flavor, does not make it spicy if that's something you don't want. Now, if you do want it spicy, you can use the Cholula for flavor and add some cayenne pepper. That's not my thing. I don't do that. If my son eats some of this, he will add regular pepper to it because he loves black pepper. And I'm just going to get a little tiny bit of that. So, okay. Oh, hot. So there's that. It's got a really nice flavor. And like I say, you get at the end, you get that taste of Cholula that is just, it's so good without making it super spicy. So anyway, give this a try. Also, I've never had the carrot cake from Mom's Place. I've had some of their others, and I did not get to the grilled cheese, but fun fact, this month, one day this month is National Grilled Cheese Day. So we are going to make some grilled cheese on that day. So I will get to those grilled cheese, just not in today's video. So I'm going to give this a try. And that's good. Okay, one thing about gluten-free mixes, sometimes they're really kind of dry. This is not dry at all, and it pairs really, really well with the cream cheese icing. So anyway, I've made it to the end of my hour, plus a little bit. Thank you to everyone who joined me. Remember to subscribe. We'll be here every week. Times will be approximate what they were today. And we're thinking about adding another live. So if you think that's a good idea, let us know. You can always DM me. And you can always join us at Gluten Free from the 513 to join our email list. So you'll know ahead of time what I'm going to make the following Monday. Have a great week, everybody.